NHL kicks off tonight, the U.S. Open Cup final at BMO Stadium, 10:30 p.m. Eastern as LAFC hosts Sporting Kansas City. LAFC have lost in 3 straight final appearances, while Sporting KC, they just missed out on the postseason last weekend and are playing in their first Cup final since they last won the U.S. Open Cup way back in 2017. I was at that game. Fun fact. All right, joining us now, Tom Bogert is going to chat more on this and some MLS coaching news. Tom, thanks for joining us. How are you doing today?
Morning, everybody. I'm doing pretty good. How about yourselves?
I'll admit I'm a little nervous. No surprises here. I'm a Sporting KC fan. But for you, when you look at this matchup, you don't need to be afraid of hurting my feelings. Who do you like in this one?
Yeah, I mean, the easy and obvious favorite is LAFC. Even though that they've been struggling over the past month, they've been straight up bad. This team has too much quality. This team has too much experience going into these big games. And I know we'll talk about that in a second about their bad record, I think, in finals. But there's just so much quality in this group that LAFC is a clear favorite.
Tommy, let's talk Sporting Kansas City. I played in the final against them back in 2015. And there's something about this competition and them in the big matches and the big moments that's just synonymous with good moments and good memories. What would an Open Cup win mean for Peter Vermes and his team, given their league campaign?
Yeah, it'd be huge. Look, we play this game, we watch this game, we care about this game because of trophies. That is what it is all about. And there is a trophy on the line tonight. Peter Vermes spoke about this week. I know Johnny Russell, in that really great interview that you guys did with him that you just played a clip of, like, one of the quotes he had that I like from that, he goes, like, I've been here 7 years. This is my first chance at a final with this group. And he's like, I'm trying to remind the younger players, like, you might not get this chance again. This is huge. You get to paint the wall. You get to etch your name in history, in the Open Cup lore. We don't know exactly what's going to happen to the Open Cup in the future. We didn't know that this year it was going to be kind of hacked down and only 8 first teams in MLS were going to play. So you never know what's going to happen. And anytime you have a chance to play for a trophy, it's special. Anytime you have a chance to play for a trophy, it's unique. And you got to take your chance.
Tom, can I just say that as soon as you started talking about Sporting Kansas City, the light in your room just immediately got brighter. So I don't know, maybe just it's an omen. It's an omen.
Is it a sign?
I'm looking for signs. I need them.
Now, that was me trying to work it out on the fly. I had a little ring light behind my computer, and it fell. I don't know how. Maybe I'm just too loud and the noise reverberated. So while I was talking, I was trying to make my screen brighter and bring it up because I'm just, a capital P professional here.
They're very
he does it all.
But it looks good. I would say the lighting is pretty capital P professional. By the way, I feel like you're standing closer. Your mustache is like staring me down at the moment. Do people, when they meet you for the first time, do they comment first on your eyes or your mustache?
That's very sweet of you to even pretend like it would be something other than my mustache. So I appreciate that, Nico. That was very nice of you.
For Nico, it would be the eyes. It sounds like.
The eyes while looking at his mustache.
He usually has to say eyes, like eyes up here.
Bogert, we're talking about SKC potentially winning. What would this mean for LAFC if they do lose the final, given their track record in finals?
This is huge. Like, on any given final that they've lost over the last 16 months now, CONCACAF Champions Cup final against Club Leon. Getting to the final is huge. Anything can happen. That's a really good team. That was a really good team that year as well, Club Leon. So you can kind of take that away. Their next 2 finals, both at the Columbus Crew. A historic team in MLS right now, historically good at home. So any individual result, you can write it off. But this is absolutely a conversation. And if they lose at home to a struggling Sporting Kansas City side, who have been one of the worst teams in the league this year, that is a huge problem. And the big game bona fides of Steve Trundle are going to continue to be questioned. He got asked about it this week, I think completely fairly. A reporter asked if the big games and the lost finals, does that kind of weigh on the team in the group mentally? And he was like, that's not fair. It's a different team, a different group, a different roster, all this. I don't even think it makes sense to talk about past finals. I was like, well, maybe if the final was in 1999, but you've been the head coach for all of these finals. A lot of the players have been the same, that they have had some roster turnover, but over the last 14 to 16 months, it's a lot of the same key players. So I think it's an absolutely fair question, a fair thing to think about. If they lose at home to Kansas City, where they're heavily favored, like, this is going to become a thing, and that gets harder and harder to shake.
Are there ghosts for finals lost in the LAFC locker room?
The club's only a couple years old. What?
Nico, do you believe in ghosts?
Where are these ghosts?
I do believe in ghosts.
Non-sequitur. Just in general, Nico, do you believe in ghosts?
Yeah, The different dimensional, not like ooh, like
Not like the
emoji,
white sheet,
emoji ghost, but and if you call like energies of a different dimension that maybe we can't perceive with our senses, with our sixth senses. Yes, I do.
I agree with that.
It's just Wilfred Nancy haunting me.
Okay, Tom, question. Do ghosts have mustaches?
Ooh.
I wish they can't. I feel like that would be go
All
against
those
ghost culture.
children with mustaches haunting hotel rooms in Pennsylvania.
This is getting weird.
Here's my question. Olivier Giroud, how does LAFC and how does Cherundolo figure out how to get this man involved? Just going back over his last 3 matches, which includes a very big derby loss. You have 12 touches in 31 minutes, 16 touches in 76 minutes, and in the derby he had 23 touches in 72 minutes. All that equates also to Giroud not having scored a goal yet. I don't think it's his fault. How do you get Giroud more involved? And is he the key piece to winning this?
He is the key piece. So what I love so much about this signing, look, like you talk about his goals, his history, his quality, experience, all of that. I think my favorite part of the signing was what I thought he was going to do for the style of this team. Like, he is obviously a great goal scorer, but he does all of the false nine things. Like, again, he's a center forward's body who can score goals, but he contributes to the buildup. He links up play. I thought that he was going to make them play a lot more aggressively with the ball rather than against the ball. What they've been so good at over the last 2 years in particular is hitting you in transition, being really difficult defensively, and just letting Denny Bouanga kill you on the counter. I was like, great, Olivier Giroud is going to come, and all of these quality players are going to like combine around him. He'll be kind of that heliocentric like wall to pass off of. When you're in trouble, you can kind of hoof it up to him. You can play it at his shin. He'll bring it down. He'll control it, shoot off defender, and play it. What I'm really worried about is I haven't seen much of that. I haven't seen the play style change. As you said, it's looked more frustrating for Olivier Giroud in that he hasn't been completely involved in the buildup in a lot of these moments. I thought it was going to be really seamless because of how good he is, how intelligent he is. All of the players around him are also very good, a high soccer IQ team. And I don't know why it's taking this long. I would imagine that they will just revert back to trying to kill you in transition for this final. It's a final. You go back to what you know. You throw your fastball. You try to do what you can. So I don't know if it's going to get better tonight. But look, if Olivier Giroud scores a goal in an Open Cup final and they win, I think that might be the elixir.
Well, the U.S. Open Cup final is not the only final happening tonight. The Campeones Cup is also happening. MLS Cup champions and League Cup champions, Columbus Crew, they face Club America. And I think these two teams met in the Leagues Cup, if I remember correctly, where Columbus won. How do you see that match going, especially given that Club America, they haven't been as good? I think 2 of their last 10 away matches, they've only won.
Yeah, they're like mid-table in Liga MX this season, and things change quickly in that league. Like, Club America were incredible last year, but look, Julian Quinones is not there anymore. Again, this team is finding their footing. What I'm worried about is Columbus Crew, they're playing games every 3-4 days. We covered their goalkeeping fiasco in which they had a bunch of players missing on international duty and Sean Zawadzki ends up in goal. That was several weeks ago. There's another international break coming up that they're going to have to play through, I believe. So I'm worried, is there going to be rotation from Columbus Crew? Club America, like, if you're the manager, are you more worried about this or getting a win in Liga MX play on the weekend? I don't know the answer to these questions, but I am worried that this is going to feel more like a glorified friendly than a trophy on the line, right? And again, it's more of a contrived trophy. It's a new trophy. It's always nice for these. This reminds me of something like the Community Shield in England. It's like you kind of debate, is that a trophy? Is that not a trophy? Right? Like, that's kind of the same conversations around this. And like the Community Shield, I'm worried that this might feel like a glorified friendly. But that comes down to these two teams. If they take it seriously, this is going to be incredibly fun. These are two very fun, very good teams, and I hope that's what we get to see. But I'm worried that this is going to feel more like a friendly than anything else.
Is it mainly because everybody forgot this exists?
I got to tell you, man, the optics of this game being the same night as the U.S. Open Cup final, given what happened this year with the Open Cup final and MLS trying to pull out all of the first teams, I don't love that look. And you guys haven't mentioned it yet, the Canadian Championship finals tonight as well. Vancouver Whitecaps versus Toronto FC. We just got finals on top of finals on a Wednesday night.
I truthfully did not know.
Yeah. Someone did. Someone on the test did.
I tried to bring it up.
Well, I mean, this is going to sound like a bit, but part of my ignorance, Bogert, I'm so locked into Europa League at the moment. I don't even know how Campeones Cup, how do you qualify? Like, I don't even know what they're playing for. What is this?
MLS Cup and Liga MX.
It's the Campeones Cup. That's what they're playing for.
It's the Cup of the two Campeones.
Yeah. So, the winner of the most recent MLS Cup and the winner of Campeones, de Campeones, or whatever the term
Oh,
was
it's
of the winner of the
Campeones de
Apertura and Clausura.
Campeones. So
It's Club America won the
Oh my
Apertura and the
God.
Clausura, so they
Oh,
automatically.
so
Yeah.
it's
Alexis
automatic
is trying to get his own
Jeez.
Nico Nose segment or something. He's auditioning for that right now. Hey, Tom, let's switch gears and talk about some of these open MLS coaching jobs. There's 4 currently, potentially more to come. What are you hearing on that front?
Yeah, the San Jose Earthquakes have interviewed the likes of Greg Berhalter, Bruce Arena, Gio Savarese, and Robin Fraser, while interim manager Ian Russell is among the candidates to be considered for the job. Greg Berhalter's been connected with the Chicago Fire. They don't have a vacancy right now, but Frank Klopas, the idea was never for him to be the long-term manager of this club. For me, I think it's still much more likely that Greg Berhalter ends up as the head coach or CSO or whatever the title is going to be with the Chicago Fire. But he did interview with San Jose Earthquakes, as did Bruce Arena. And Bruce Arena has not been involved in Major League Soccer since he resigned from the New England Revolution after he was placed on administrative leave in a cloud of secrecy for inappropriate remarks is kind of all that's came out, despite my best attempts to get more and more information on this. It's lock and key for this about exactly what happened with Bruce Arena. But he's able to coach again in this league. And, in his early to mid 70s, he's ready to go again. And the San Jose Earthquakes have interviewed him. Elsewhere, Patrick Vieira is a finalist for Atlanta United. I think that makes a ton of sense. I think that would be an excellent hire by Atlanta United. What I'm told is that they are at the stage of finalists. So sources around the club kind of pushed back when I asked, is he the front runner? Whereas I had several sources around the league saying, hey, that's going to happen. Vieira's going to happen, right? All I can say for 100% certainty is he is a finalist. For me, I would loosely assume that he would be the top choice. But again, we don't know who the other finalists are and how this is going to play out. But that's one to watch.
Real quick, and maybe you can answer quickly. I just really am interested with Berhalter sort of it feels like he's taking a step back, going back to MLS after being an international manager, a trophy-winning international manager. Was there any possibility of him going to Europe, or did he want to stay in America, or there just were no offers?
From what I've been told is that he was open/wanting for Europe, but I don't think he's getting a Premier League offer, and Europe is a very big place. Are you going to be a mid-table manager in Belgium or the Netherlands, right? Sparta Rotterdam went between when he was United States manager and then not the manager and then the manager again. In that not the manager brief period, Sparta Rotterdam tried to hire him. And if he went to Sparta Rotterdam, I would have said the same thing you are, but that's a step back. So I get it, but it's not as if Valencia are going out of the way to hire Greg Berhalter right now.